Okay, so this is the last segment on here I'm going to be doing here at this location, and I'm just wanted to, I have a couple more episodes coming up here where I go deeper into my dream, my wish list for everybody to get connected to their own passions and their own life, um, you know, purpose. And every single person has to discover what that is on their own, And it's like, oh, it's fantasy world, Kara. Who has time for that? Of course I want to do this for a living, but how am I going to make money doing this, kind of thing. Well, you know what? I was there too. I lived in the matrix, and once I committed to it's not easy. It's the hardest thing anyone can ever do is to release themselves into the life stream, and see if it'll carry you, and you go, oh, I've tried that before. Yeah, we have, and we fail miserably, or we're not heard, and we're rejected, and we're abandoned, and we're betrayed, and we're disregarded, and trivialized, and reduced, and called crazy and insane because we're pursuing our dreams, and people, oh yeah, that's a fantasy, you know, children and stuff have gone through horrible childhood traumatic experiences, and Einstein, all these geniuses out there, they each one of them, each one of us, all of us have heard, spirits, oh, you'll never make it, or who cares about what you're writing, or who cares about that art, and that looks weird, and people get discouraged by people around them, families, own parents, own brothers, sisters, or whatever, own friends. Oh, you'll never matter to nothing, and nobody cares about what you have to say, and that art's weird, and and that doesn't make any sense, and then we get discouraged, and then we just go, okay, never mind, let's go back doing what I would used to do before, this kind of thing, and it's time that we start encouraging more dreams and dreamers, and let people pursue whatever it is that really interests them versus what we think we need to do to control. And what people, I don't encourage people to do what I do. I just encourage them to find out what is that they want to do. And as I started pursuing my own interests, it was amazing that the magic started happening to support me. And I don't mean I was like, oh, I'm giving a golden ticket and giving finances or nothing. It crippled me financially. I lost everything because of it. But the thing is, in all that, I found myself, okay? And I matter more than anything, and that's not saying this to be selfish. We are all kings and queens in potentiality. Just there's people, there's many pauper, there's many a slum child, of the street who has risen and become presidents of companies, and you know, John Searle was an orphan. He was beat senselessly to the point of deafness in his childhood, and he was a truant. He was wandered the streets. He was homeless, and yet he was so committed to his deep passion that ignited him when he was 5 years old. He didn't even know what it was, but he pursued his dream and his passion, and he knew there was something inside, and he knew he was being made fun of. He knew he was being mocked, being ridiculed, trivialized. And this was the 1940s, and he's got this, childhood, and yet he was so committed to his sole purpose that he did not stop until he, and it's like the universe caters to that. And even if you're struggling, you're going to go through some suffering and some, objectifications and crucifixions and annihilations and mockery and ridicule, and to the highest possible degree, let your heart and your spirit and your soul and your drive and your, what really moves you, let that not be squelched. And that's what I was really, really committing to. I'm not going to let this go. There's something bigger out there with this ether and this spiritual, the spirit of life itself. What is this love? What the heck is love? It's what runs this fuel, what runs this technology. It's what runs this earth. They say love makes the world go around. It's not just a trivial thing. It's the real deal here. And it's basically connecting to your own nature, realizing everything around you is a reflection of it. We determine our nature. Oh no, I'm a nice person, and this person and everyone's life is jumping on me, and life is hurting me, and life is, yeah, I've been there. I've been rejected. I've been trivialize. I had to divorce my whole family, so to speak, because I was called a nut and a goof, and when you don't let anything get you down, because you ground yourself in your own ground, and I'm here to help encourage that and support this for people. And as I went into my journey, and I got activated with the fire of my own spirit. This isn't religious. This isn't dogmatic. This is anything to do beyond some new age, new whatever nonsense that this the latest fad, or the latest guruism, and their latest positive reinforcement and motivational speakings and stuff. That is wonderful to get us focused on our own passions. There's more entrepreneurs. There is more self-starting businesses that people are pursuing now more than ever before. There's millionaires being made like daily almost, that are doing, they're quitting their working for somebody else, and they're pursuing their own interests and their own businesses, and making thousands of dollars a month to do this. And it's, well, not everyone can, or people, but you know what, my thing is just do what makes you happy. Pursue that inner passion, and don't be afraid of it. We fear it. I've been there before. It's taken me 10 years to process this, and I'm hoping that the more people that make an effort to be encouraged by the ones who believe in them. I don't have to know you individually and purposely and directionally to not care about you. I just want everyone to be who they are, and I encourage that in this channel, this movement, this experience that I'm trying to expose and share with everybody. I really am committed. A third of my resources after I take care of my own, because you got to take care of yourself. You have to matter first. I've given away my life savings, to the point of decimation and destitution and bankruptcy, because I wanted to see other people's, dreams realized, and I would sacrifice, and I'm not doing this to toot my horn. It's just, this is what I did because I believe in other people who have something greater to give for the greater good of the whole, that will help other people. And I believe in helping people. If I see, it doesn't mean that you have to do something that, that's going to save the world, or that's going to be, clean energy, or whatever it is, but if you just do it for your own self. And I just want people to know how amazing each one of us is. We each play an amazing role and add a puzzle piece to this great masterpiece of life and humanity. And the more of us that are pursuing our heart and pursuing our higher intention, that once we actually take the time to listen to what that is, and then we don't, as almost, we can't help but want that others to do the same thing. And then the more people resonate into what brings them joy versus what they think they have to do, what they should do, what they need to do based on their identities of characters and roles that they play versus their true essence, that really is just, and have that matter, bring it to matter, so that it's not just a pipe dream, so that's not a fantasy, and the more people that are resonating in their heart center, then the greater impact that we will have. And so I'm saying all this, so it'll encourage you, inspirational speak. My story is pretty amazing. I can't even, I explain it in my series coming up, and, as I pursued this journey, and I left everything that I knew behind in 2013, and I embarked on this, I put all caution to the wind. I stopped restricting myself. Instead of, I have the strict budget, and I just said, if my heart wants me to do this, I'm going to do it. And it basically turned into the greatest discovery of my life. I found myself at the bottom of it all, at the heart of it all, the core of it all. And I'm just living my life now because I chose to pay attention to the signs and to the calling and to the knock knock on my heart's door by my soul. And you know, the more and more people that hear the call, and pay attention to it, and not worry about what other people are going to say. I have been ridiculed, I have been condemned, I have been betrayed, I have been reduced to nothing. And it's like, I am so grateful for the ones who did that to me, because it forced me to go, but you have to be your biggest fan. You got to be your own best friend. You got to be your lover. You got to be your own. If you don't believe in yourself enough, take the Jim Carreys of the world, right? You know, he was of his own unique unique bird, you know, and the ones that just, you know, I gifted, I have a talent or whatever, and the singers and stuff. I know some people automatically, you know, some people, not every singer out there has a is talented or the best singer in the world, but they have something like, you know, the Lady Gaga or something like that. She has this persona that you know, despite what people might say how she looked, or she was ridiculed as a child, or even supermodels, they were gangly and you know, mocked and say, oh, that, you know, you're not attractive or this and that, and it's like they become supermodels because they just don't give up on their dream, because they know they have something. You know, don't ever give up on that part, and keep forging ahead. And I'm just here to encourage you, and enjoy the coming episodes coming up as well. But as you're going to see in my upcoming series, when I started pursuing my own passion, and that of this art that I saw, and then I was working with a mystic and a healer, and a world spiritual teacher, and you know, getting connected and activated by an inner movement that was beyond myself, and knew that the work that she was doing was to help something beyond herself. It's like I couldn't help but help other people who were doing the same thing, pursuing their passion, pursuing their heart, pursuing their purpose, beyond their own person. They were doing it without any need for money, without, well, everybody needs money. They weren't doing it for the money. They were doing it because their heart told them so, you know. And that's what I started, you know, being surrounded by beautiful souls that were doing this. And this, it was like this earth project is what I called it back in 2010, 11, when I started you know, calling it this. And now it's the new earth. And I had 333 as a code after that, because it's an infinite number of everyone coming into their own inner balance, that body, mind, spirit, you know, and mother, father, child, you know, within, and wearing that crown on your head, and pursuing, you know, what your heart really, really wants to do and to be. And if we don't give ourselves the time of day, who will? Who's gonna get your dream started if you don't start it first, and you don't do the work? If someone isn't gonna, you know, make the effort to be their own best fan and their own best promoter and their own, you know, you know, you know, you can't even see your own beauty before your eyes, and your own worth and your own value, you know. You have to see it first. And I'm here to say it, that you're amazing, and you're beautiful, and you're awesome, and you're special. Okay? Everyone can be, you know, an avatar, and everyone can be a superstar, and everyone can be everything. And every single one of us has that potentiality. You just have to believe in it, and beyond identity, but beyond, you know, of roles that you think you should do, because everyone wants to be a movie star, everyone wants to be the top athlete, everyone wants to, you know, because of because of how people react to us, because of it makes an impression on somebody. Impress yourself beyond your your own, you know, egos. You know, we got to get out of the ego and into the heart. The mind is a servant to the heart. It's a beautiful tool that we must not ever discount, but let's not have it rule, you know, what we do, and these limitations and these belief systems and programs that aren't here really to serve us, but they're here to be served. And it's time that we turn the tables, okay, and start giving back to ourselves by going into ourselves. So that's what this journey is about. So I'm going to go ahead and just stop it here, and we'll continue the journey of the movements as we go forward. But you know, we're just getting started, and I'm here to be the biggest cheerleader and the rah rah girl, and your friend, your sister. Okay, your Anam Kara. I'm a soul friend, somebody that is willing to be here for you, to support your deepest soul's directive. And it's beyond even a destination to achieve to. It's just an awakening and a reconnection to life itself, and to this beautiful planet, this beautiful existence, and you're at the heart of it all. Peace out. See you soon.